All right, let's talk about something every parent I know struggles with. It's this question of how do we help our kids without, well, helping them too much? It is the great paradox of modern parenting, right? Finding that sweet spot between being there for them and actually empowering them to be there for themselves.
So let's just start with a really direct question. I want you to just kind of keep this in the back of your mind as we go. Are you, personally, helping too much? It sounds simple, but man, the answer can be really, really complicated.
And this quote, it just hits the nail on the head. It's from Montessori philosophy, and it's so powerful because it gets right to the heart of the problem. When we swoop in to do everything, with the best intentions, of course, the quiet message our kids might be hearing is, I don't think you can do this on your own. So let's dive into why this matters so much. We're going to explore the real power of independence and look at why this has to be a fundamental goal for us as parents. Okay, so independence isn't just one thing. It's actually built on a few key psychological pillars. And the first one is confidence. This is that gut feeling, that inner voice that just says, yeah, I got this. It's a core trust in your own ability to figure things out. And right alongside that is self-efficacy. Now, this is a little more specific. If confidence is the general feeling, self-efficacy is that laser-focused belief that I can do this specific thing. It's that I can do it feeling you get when you actually overcome a challenge. And all of that builds up to the big one, self-esteem. This is the overall picture. It's how you feel about your own worth as a person. It's that deep down feeling of I am worthy. And let me tell you, these three things, confidence, self-efficacy, and self-esteem, they are the bedrock of a happy, successful life. So how in the world do we build all that? Well, the absolute best way to think about it is scaffold parenting. It's a perfect metaphor. You know how scaffolding supports a building while it's being constructed? We do the same. We provide tons of support at the beginning, but here's the key. The whole point of scaffolding is to take it down, piece by piece, as the building gets strong enough to stand on its own. That's our job. And that brings us to the what. What does this scaffolding actually look like day to day? We can break it down into three simple pillars of growth. This is the what of our strategy.
So here they are, the three pillars that we're going to build on. Number 1, purposeful contribution. Number 2, calculated challenges. And number 3, the emotional climate we create in our homes.
Let's start with pillar 1, purposeful contribution. This is, well, it's a much better way of saying chores, but the words we use here really matter. The goal is to reframe chores not as some punishment, but as a child's genuine, meaningful contribution to the family. It makes them feel needed, capable, and valuable. And the payoff is huge. I mean, look at this. Through these contributions, kids aren't just learning to wipe a counter. They're developing these crucial life skills. They learn responsibility, they practice what it feels like to be independent, they figure out time management, and they learn what it means to be on a team. Okay, on to our second pillar, calculated challenges. This is all about learning to take risks. And I know that can sound scary, but look, life is full of risks. Learning to see them, assess them, and manage them is an absolutely critical skill we can't shield them from forever. But here's the super important distinction we have to make. It's the difference between a healthy, safe risk and a hazard. A safe risk is something a kid can see and choose to try, like climbing a jungle gym that's a little tricky for them. A hazard, on the other hand, is a hidden danger they can't possibly know about, like a bookcase that isn't anchored to the wall. So our job isn't to get rid of all risk, it's to get rid of the hazards so they can safely learn from the risks. And that brings us to our third and final pillar, the emotional climate. This is all about our parenting style. Honestly, you can think of it like the soil in a garden. It's the environment where independence will either grow and thrive or just wither away. It sets the stage for everything. Now, this table breaks it down really well. There are two main factors: how demanding we are, so what our expectations are, and how responsive we are to our kids' needs. If you're really responsive but not demanding, that's permissive. If you're demanding but not responsive, that's authoritarian. The sweet spot, the place where kids flourish, is right there in that top right corner. Authoritative. That's when you have high demands and high responsiveness. Okay, we've talked about the what and the why. Now for the really practical part, the how. Let's get right into a concrete age-by-age playbook that you can literally start using today. And we're going to start at the very beginning, with toddlers.
We're talking ages 2 to 3. Even at this super young age, we can start putting down those foundational bricks for independence with really simple tasks.
For a toddler, a chore can be as simple as helping put their toys into a basket, or using a little cloth to wipe up a spill they made. And safe risks? We're talking about physical exploration, crawling through a play tunnel, seeing if they can squeeze into a cardboard box. It's all about them learning their own body and its limits. All right, now for preschoolers, ages 4 and 5, their motor skills are getting way better, so they're ready for things that are a little more complex, both in terms of responsibility and challenges. So a preschooler can totally help set the table for dinner, or be in charge of feeding the dog all by themselves. And for safe risks, maybe it's balancing on a low curb, climbing a little higher at the playground, or, and this is a big one, with very close supervision, using a kid-safe knife to slice a banana. Every little thing they master is a huge win for their confidence. Now, for school-aged kids and teenagers, the responsibilities start to scale up big time. Yeah, this is a pretty wide age range, but the idea is exactly the same. The challenges and contributions have to grow with them to build real-world skills. So, for example, a 6-year-old can absolutely make their own bed. A 10-year-old can learn to vacuum or sweep, and by the time they're teenagers, they really should be tackling things that are directly preparing them for adult life, like cooking a simple meal once a week, doing their own laundry from start to finish, or even managing a small budget. Okay, so let's wrap all of this up. Finding the right balance. The big takeaway here isn't about following a super strict set of rules. It's about using these ideas to find the right balance for your family and for your unique kid. And the goal always is to be aiming for that authoritative style we talked about. It's that magic combination, high expectations and clear limits, but all of it happening inside a relationship that's full of warmth, love, and support. It's not about being a drill sergeant, it's about being a trusted guide. And that brings us to the final and I think the most important question. This isn't about changing everything overnight. It's much simpler. Just ask yourself this. What's one small way, just one tiny opportunity you can create to empower your child's independence today?